From Miami Communities, I'm with State Rep Anthony Rodriguez. Now I'm going to rename it. Up to bat, leading off for the Marlins, Anthony Rodriguez.
The real A-Rod.
The real A-Rod.
From the hood.
From the hood.
Westchester Kendall.
Westchester Kendall. That is true. I love A-Rod. Now he talks to me about A-Rod. I grew up on the hood. I grew up in Kendall. That's not the hood.
That's right. I mean, I grew up in Westchester and Kendall.
You grew up in Westchester?
Westchester, no. Wechete.
There you go. The true Westchester.
Wechete.
Okay. Before we get to, I know you're running for county commission. Let's talk about Anthony Rodriguez. Elementary school. Where'd you go?
Olympia Heights and Bentry.
Favorite teachers? Go.
Miss Broche, Miss Mullins.
Okay. Okay, that was elementary. Middle school or junior high?
Dr. Eater. McMillan Middle and Miami Sunset High.
Who's same teacher? Who's your teacher at Sunset High?
Mr. Eater was my favorite, my theater production teacher. And then in high school, I mean, my favorite, polar opposites on political views, but without her, I wouldn't be where I am today, Miss Monzon.
What's her first name? Do you remember?
Lisette Monzon.
All right, so she was, what grade class was that?
So that was English, and that was my senior year. So I'll tell you, let me back up, right? So I'll tell you a little bit. So in junior year, summer of 11th to 12th grade, my first son was born. Right. Adrian, who's 17 now, who just got his first car yesterday. So he's excited about that, and Mom and I are making sure he stays on track. But he's a great kid. So
it doesn't matter. You're still gonna be nervous.
So always, So since so she's my senior year teacher, I'm going into senior year with a child. I mean, I'm a child at that age, and I'm walking into senior year with a newborn.
You walked in class with your baby?
I mean, yeah, some days, absolutely. And that was the neat thing about Miss Monzon, right?
Wait, did you have gray hair back then?
I did not. This came after. Before politics, though.
Okay.
It came before politics.
Okay, so she talked to you about politics?
Miss Monzon did not. Miss Monzon just helped me get through it, never giving me a handout, just always giving me a hand up and teaching me and tutoring me and making sure that we graduate basically top of our class, thanks to her. I mean, just made it very, very, very catering to our situation at the time, because if not, maybe we wouldn't be here today, my wife and I.
Are you still in contact with her?
I am actually. We stay in contact often. I owe her a dinner that we're supposed to have this summer, and we haven't had yet.
You can take her to Arbetters if you want.
Listen, I'll take her.
Or Mojo Donuts. It's in the heart of Westchester.
Listen, we've had our fair share of Mojo Donuts. I'll say that, and Arbetters as well.
Okay, so you met your wife of how many years you've been married? 17
years now. 17 years. We got married in high school. We needed parent consent when we got married.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and we're still happily married today. We've got 3 beautiful children.
Ages?
So my oldest is 17.
Right.
I've got a 13-year-old and a 10-year-old daughter. So 2 boys and a girl.
Okay. Where do they go to school?
My 2 little ones go to Somerset Palms, which is right in horse country, right where we live by.
Right.
And my oldest is at Columbus now.
So, I'm very good friends with most of those Columbus guys. So did your son have Dr. Burris as a counselor?
No, he does not have Dr. Burris as a counselor. No, he has not. Not that I know of, no.
Well, Dr. Burris is a legend. I don't know if you know. If you go to Arbetters, his jersey's still up.
His jersey's there, yep.
And your son's going to be a senior.
He's going to be a senior. And I like to say I have the best of both worlds, the best of all worlds at the house, right? Because my wife and I both went to public school. My younger children now are in charter school.
So you got all 3.
And then my oldest is in a private Catholic school.
Private,
so
charter.
I've lived it all. And it's happy to, it's one of the things that I know you want to touch a little bit on the legislature. One of the things that I've always advocated for and I've always spoken about in the legislature, and it's not a popular subject, is I'm very school choice, as proven by my kids.
I want to talk about that. Growing up, we went to public schools. Both my brother and I went to Miami-Dade, FIU. I try to stay at Palmetto High School as long as possible. I try to fail classes to keep me in high school. But and then growing up, when Governor Bush took over and talked about, having a choice, I was against it. I don't know why I was against it.
It was new.
Right. And I go, no, it's wrong. But seeing these charter schools per se, like Somerset or Academica, whatever you want to, what they're doing with these students, it's making the public school do a better job.
It's competition.
Right. Before, the public schools didn't have to do a better job and they got away with it. Now they have to do a better job. And I think they are. But if it's because of these parents have a choice. Do I send them here or send them there? You have to do a better job. What's your thoughts on this whole thing?
Here's the thing, though. For the stigma for way too long has been that it's either or. It's either you support public schools or charter schools or private. You can't have the best of both worlds. And my question is, why not? Why? I'm not saying, let's go in one direction and defund public education. I grew up on public education.
It worked pretty good for you.
I mean, it worked out. I don't know if it worked out pretty good or not. That's debatable, but it worked out for me and my family. So I'm totally support public school. I mean, in the legislature this past session, we allocated historic record budget funding for teachers, as well as others, as well as first responders. But we're on education now, so it doesn't mean that you have to penalize one or hurt one or take away from one to give to the other. But I've always been of the mindset that the money should follow the student, and always properly funding our public schools, but let there be competition.
Well, competition's healthy no matter what world.
In every industry.
But I think the education in Dade County is getting better, even though we're short funded compared to other counties. Correct?
Well, we're a donor county.
Right.
So we're always going to be short funded from that point of view, just because we're a donor county to the rest of the state. We are the largest county in the entire state. And I think we're like the fourth or fifth largest country
in the country.
Yeah. So yes, we are because of the fact that we're a donor county, we're always short. We always have a shortfall. But we're still a lot better today than we were a year ago, and we're better today and a year ago than we were 10 years ago.
Yeah, and we all change our opinions about education. And right now, the public schools are doing a better job. The charter schools are driving everybody. And every time the new charter school starts, it makes the other charter schools do a better job.
Absolutely. And one of the things we made sure of in the legislature when we allocated bonuses for teachers this past session is that we made sure that the bonuses will make it to the teachers, that it wouldn't stay in upper management and leadership. We want to make sure that every teacher this year and also last year received a bonus as a result of being a teacher.
Remember what they got paid?
I don't remember the bonus, and I think it was by scale. They also got raises, by the way. So it wasn't just bonuses. They also got long-term raises and bonuses as well. So and it was scalable, right? It was by percentages of how many years they've been in service, how many years they've been teaching, and so on and so forth.
It wasn't a lot, but it was more than they ever got before.
Exactly.
So teachers go, I should have got more. Well, they never had it before.
And they should. They absolutely should get more. 100% I agree. But it was a step in the right direction.
Correct. It was the first time they've had it.
So they got to keep up the good fight. We got to keep up the good fight as lawmakers. Keep advocating for our teachers here in Dade County and throughout the state of Florida, quite frankly. But it was a step in the right direction, and they're better off today than they were, a year ago, and better off a year ago than they were 10 years ago.
How many years have you been state rep?
Just 4 years. I'm finishing up my fourth year. Would be this November. I finished my fourth year.
And you could, if you wanted, to have 2 more terms if you wanted to.
I could, and what most people would call in the political world my most influential years.
Right.
In Tallahassee, and I'm leaving that all on the table. I'm walking away from it all, just to come back home and serve my neighbors. I mean, like I said, I went to Olympia Heights. I'm now running for county commission as you have up in the screen, and it's where I grew up. I mean, I'm knocking on doors, and I'm knocking on my teachers' doors.
Is it crazy?
It's the wildest thing, but it's so rewarding. I'm knocking on the other day. I knocked
fellow
on
students of yours.
No, fellow colleagues, yeah, students of mine in school. I mean, I knocked on my bus driver's house the other day.
Wait. Your bus driver
from like elementary school.
And he remembered you?
Well, I mean, as we started talking, and she said, you're
the kid in the back.
She brings up to me, yeah, right. Yeah, she brings up to me. She's like, no, well, I've been a bus driver for a year. I'm retired now. I said, oh, what schools did you in? She said, Olympia Heights. I said, wait, Carmen? I think her name is Carmen. I said, Carmen? Yeah. I said, I used to buy lollipops from you at 25 cents on the bus and sell them for 50 cents in school.
Entrepreneur here. There you go.
Since day one.
Okay, so you could stay state rep. You choose to run to be part of your community. And selfish part that's not very important. They're your home.
And I'm home. And look, again, I have 3 school age kids. Out of my 3 kids, the ages that I mentioned earlier, one's in elementary, one's in middle, one's in high school. So I've got 3 school age kids. Up there, I'm up in Tallahassee 5-6 months out of the year. I'm missing their football games. I'm missing my daughter's dance recitals.
Okay. So let's get to your sons. Your daughter's in dance.
She's dance. She's in dance. She's in a dance studio. She's been doing it for years. Dance Unlimited.
Okay.
And she's great. She's flexible as can be. And
you go to the competitions?
Of course. I mean, we don't do travel because I think I travel enough as it is.
Okay. And your son, what's he do?
So my middle one, my oldest is not doing any sports now. And a little bit is myself to blame, just because of how hectic our lives got. And then my middle son, my 13-year-old, he's in football.
Where?
He's at
Kendall Hammocks.
Kendall Hammocks.
And the Warriors.
The Warriors.
Red and gray.
Yep.
Everybody knows that.
Right off of Killian. So
did you play football?
I didn't. So I'm on my oldest son's. He's on my trajectory, right? I didn't do any sports growing up. Just didn't find it interesting at the time. I kind of regret that. I wish I would have gotten an interest for it and done some sports. But now I do have a physique to maintain, and
you have to work hard at it. All right. So your oldest son, he's at Columbus. He's a rising junior. He's
going to be a senior.
He's a rising senior.
He's going to be a senior.
Does he know where he wants to go to college at? Where he wants to
go? So here's the thing, right?
Is your wife Latin?
She is. We're both of Cuban descent.
Okay.
Both born and raised here.
Does that mean he has to stay in Miami?
No. So
okay, good. I just want to make sure. So you're going to be the first one to say go.
Yes, but here's the thing, though. With him, at least, my younger ones might be a little different, but he currently wants to stay local. So he wants to stay in mom and dad's house. He wants to stay in his room.
He's a smart guy.
He's a smart guy.
Spends your money.
Yeah. But mom and dad want him. We're not going to push him, but we'd like him to go. Do his own laundry at a dorm somewhere.
Doesn't happen.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't want to. But here's the thing, man. He just got a girlfriend.
And she goes away. She's going away.
She might want to go away. I don't know. So
what school does she go to?
So she's in Coral Reef, if I'm not mistaken. It might be like, you should know this, Dad, but I think she's at Coral Reef. Yeah, she is. She's very smart. Very smart. I think it's part of the magnet program or whatnot. Right. So she's very smart. And they've been together a couple months now. It's not brand new girlfriend. She's a great girl. But I tell my wife, I said, look, maybe I don't know that she wants to go away, but if she does, you never know. He might want to follow. He may want to follow.
And to get his heart broken up there. Right? All right. So now we know about your family. Why'd you run for a state rep?
So it's interesting, right? The reason I got involved in politics to begin with is operating my small business. My wife and I own a small business. We're in the property management space, and operating our small business, we saw that government overreach, and it was mostly local government overreach. So start paying more attention to politics. I never thought I'd end up in, I'm not here by design. I'm here by pure coincidence and necessity. So it wasn't something that I studied to get into politics or anything like that. But, government was just overreaching, and I could go into a dozen examples of some of those, but I started paying more attention. And when this seat freed up in Tallahassee, I said, what?
Seat was it before?
So before me, I ran against Robert Asensio, who was the incumbent at the time. And I beat Robert Asensio. Before that, it had been held for years prior by then Representative Frank Artiles. So
that district it was like a big snake.
Yeah, I mean it was most of Kendall from Southwest 8th Street,
right,
all the way south to Eureka Drive,
right.
So it was quite a large district, and the county commission district, now District 10, is even a little larger. But I love it. It's my people. It's my neighbors. It's where I grew up. It's where I eat, work, and play. I love it. And look, sometimes you're out to every politician, every elected official can share the story, right? Sometimes you're out to dinner with your family, and you got this one person that walks up to you, and you're just trying to have a nice dinner with your wife or with your kids. But I love that. Even if it's not a pleasant comment that they're saying, as long as they come respectful, even if it's not something that, I love the debate. I love speaking about it and engaging my community.
All right. So county commission seat has been held by
Javier Soto for, I want to say, and don't quote me on this, I want to say it's exactly 28 years he's been there.
So 29 years ago, He had a little office off of 8th Street when he was running. I don't remember his campaign manager's name, but he was mammoth. This right when he's kicking off, and the campaign he ran against Dick Anderson, safety of the Dolphins. He graduated. He said, "Dick Anderson, great football player, terrible senator. Vote for Javier Soto." That was his first campaign.
That's genius.
Correct. He says he's a great guy, but he's not a good state senator. So I've known Senator Soto. So the stories you've heard for the last 4 years, I've heard them for the 28 years. Same story.
Yeah, I think I'm a little younger than you.
Yeah. So the same stories. He's an interesting man because he ran it like a small town. He made sure the shopping carts were picked up. He made sure that the trash was picked up because this district is not a lot of city. Is there any city in your district?
It's 100% UMSA, so it's 100% unincorporated Dade County, and Grant, we're trying to keep it that way.
Yeah, and people don't realize if you're a county commissioner in some other districts, they got 8 cities. So you got a problem, go to the city. Go to the city. Go to the city. You are the head person in your community.
Well, whoever the commissioner is, I'm not there yet, but
right.
Knock on wood.
Right.
I'll knock on wood
it's not knock on wood. It's how many doors you knock on.
Yeah. Well, that's with this, with the great winter weather that we have right now.
Right.
Yeah. It's a little bit less than desirable to be out there in this heat, but once you I always say once you knock on that first door, you get that first answer. It's like fuel to the body.
All right. So you're saying you want to keep it unincorporated. You want to keep it part of the county.
Yeah, look, that's the residents moved into this district the way it is. And from the community that I've been hearing from.
And this community is not brand new. Not many people move in. These are
very established community.
Right. 30, 40-year residents that have been there and they love their little community. They love unofficial Westchester.
Yeah, we have a lot of young families that have moved in as well, but this is a very established community. This is not a community where we're building high rises.
Well, the families you say that came in, they're not moving there new. They're moving back to where they grew up.
That's 90% of the time that's the case. They grew up in the area. They know the area. They know it's safe. Sure, can we apply more resources to make it safer? Of course, that's in every neighborhood.
But the crime in your district is not that high.
We got some robberies. We got minor crime like you have in any, and it could be improved, of course. Law enforcement, the departments that we have in that community, I think we encompass 3 different police districts.
Stations.
Right? We have Hammocks, Kendall, and Midwest, and they're phenomenal. I mean, they're great. They're responsive. You're not waiting an hour for a police officer. I mean, they are just the cream of the cream. But I think that we need to continue providing the resources to them so that they can continue enhancing that and minimizing that time and making it even better than it is. So I think we just need to build on what's there. We live in a beautiful community, in my opinion, and I might be a little biased, one of the best in the whole county. But we just have to kind of build off of that. I think
is Tropical Park part of your district? Right on the edge.
That's the gem of the district, Grant. I mean, that's the gem of the district. I mean, to me, it's the most beautiful park Miami-Dade County has.
Well, it's the number one in population.
Yep.
It happens to be the home of the great tropical racetrack.
There you go.
Most people don't know that.
The real history, right?
Yeah.
And then did he donate that to the county? How was that?
I don't remember that. I was born then, but I remember going watching horses there. And because it was on a cycle, Calder Racetrack bought their schedule.
Got it.
But it is I forgot what the district. It is the gem. I'm glad they got rid of the
Santas,
and because it was just took up too much time. But that park's beautiful because at any given time, you got baseball, you got football, you got basketball.
It's a great park. I mean, I was just there this week. And by the way, I'm the first to admit, I'm embarrassed to say this, but I'll say it, is I did not know what a huge pickleball community was. I didn't know pickleball existed till 2 or 3 years ago.
Well, it's a booming sport, and
one of the fastest growing.
It is the fastest growing sport. And Tropical Park, the park person, took the initiative and get ahead of the curve.
Yeah, we've got 4 relative brand new pickleball courts there, and I mean there is a line of the pickleball community waiting to play in them.
Yeah.
We need more.
Yeah, you got basketball. There's so much going on, and it's a great park to walk.
We've got everything in Tropical, from baseball, basketball, football. We got that stadium that's there, that's been there forever, and we got now we got racquetball, we got the pickleball courts now, we got the beautiful lakes, and my favorite. And I was speaking about this this week when I was there with the pickleball community and meeting them. is I remember these hills at Tropical Park as a kid, rolling down those hills, what seemed like these mountains, what seemed like the biggest mountains in the world. And I drive by now and I'm like, oh, that wasn't that big, but I was small.
Well, that one, I want you to jog up and down that a couple
yeah,
times.
there's one that does look pretty intense.
And it used to be, the lake used to be able swimming.
Isn't it? I think 2 out of 3 I think are contaminated, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but it used, when I grew up, it was swimming.
Oh,
So okay, so that's your district. What will you do different when you get elected? And
listen, that's obviously the answer that the question that everybody asks, right? And my thing is build upon what we have today. So the community has spoken recently, and one of the real hot topics in the community has been incorporation. And my thing is, look, we're, unless it's something that goes against my values, which is, it's very little things that affect the day-to-day that is value-based, unless it's like a pro-life or pro-choice type of issue, which you deal more with on a state level than a local level.
or national level.
But not so much on a local level. But unless it goes against my principles and my values, I think that you have to listen to the community. You're elected by the community, for the people, by the people. So, and the people have spoken, and they don't want incorporation today. They don't want it under these circumstances, right? They want it to come through petition if ever. But then they want to have the chance to study it. So, look, I want to build on what the people have. Again, I said it earlier, and I say it again. We live in one of the best communities, but we need to just enhance our roads. We need to enhance our infrastructure. Affordable housing and the housing crisis that we're having is affecting the Westchester community as well. And you see it with the amount of efficiencies that we have in Westchester. So that's something that needs.
You said efficiencies.
Efficiencies. I mean, these.
Well, come on. West Miami is the #1 city in the country. Every home has an efficiency.
West Miami. Have you gone into Westchester?
Yeah, you can't get in the backyard.
Well, listen, I'm not trying to compete with Hialeah. If you're in Hialeah, I think they take the prize on that.
People ask you about elected officials. To me, it's take care of the 3 Ps. People move to Westchester because great park system. You got Tamiami, not that it's in your district, but a lot of those kids participate. You got Tropical Park. You got all these little, I call them little parks, neighborhood parks. Though your district has great parks. The parks and the police, as you said, do a great job. People move, they want to know, and then top it all, whether they're public or private, mostly public schools. Westchester, your district has a lot of great public schools. What high school is in your district?
We're blessed. We have South Miami. We have Coral Park. We have Rockaway Middle. I mean, we have great schools.
And how many?
We have Sunset, where I graduated from.
Now, your district probably has the highest percentage of charter schools. You have a Homestead has the most. In that little
we have a decent amount. I don't know the exact number, but we have a decent amount of charter schools, and they're growing and they're filling up. Now I don't know if they're all at max capacity. I mean, it goes by demographic and neighborhoods, but there is
there a True North in your district?
There is a True North I think it might be a block away. But there's a True North.
Just want to make sure Mike's expanding.
Yeah. Yeah, Mike.
He tried to expand in horse country. It didn't work.
He did. It didn't work. And my neighbors and I, it's just, look, there's several charter schools there already. There's several schools there already.
How long you live in horse country? How long you been living there?
I've been there about 5-6 years now, and I've always lived in the vicinity between Westchester and Kendall. And my wife and I always dreamed of living in horse country. We love the nature. We love animals. We have chickens. We have a horse. We have dogs. So
how many dogs do you have?
I've got 2 dogs. I've got bird.
Because my brother, as you know, my brother lives in horse country.
Yep.
And he just wants to know if any stray dog walks in his yard, which yard to put it in.
All right. Well, he could bring it back over to mine. We take in any animal that we find that we can. That we're able to. And we love that. My wife and I love that. But here's the thing: we couldn't afford it. So finally we found like the oldest house in the neighborhood, and finally we're able to move into the neighborhood. And little by little, have been fixing it up. But we're I feel blessed. I feel blessed that we're living our dream. We got 3 beautiful, healthy children, and we live in a great community. So I'm just looking to give that back to the community. I mean, and it sounds very cheesy and corny per se, but I love to give back. I love to leave that example even for my children. And that's the selfish part of it, right? Is showing my children that you could do good, that you could leave, a legacy, that you could do good for the community. You could give back to the community, and it's their future. And hopefully one day my grandkids and their kids,
My dentist was on Coral Way and 87th.
Oh, there you go, center of the district.
Oh yeah. Community newspaper's office was on 87th and Coral Way in the shopping center on the north side of Coral Way, northeast shore. You know that big shopping center?
Now I'm going to take it personal. You guys left the district.
And there was a movie theater in the corner there. Our father had an office there in the 70s. My brother probably can't remember that back then. But so I'm really familiar with
Just said, who's
Westchester.
the
You know,
younger one?
and then
There you go.
and then the football programs. You have the Kendall Hammocks, Tamiami Colts. You have back then Westwood Lakes used to have a
Yep.
football program. The colors were yellow. That's you didn't know about that. But the programs are huge. So how many doors have you knocked on?
Man, so far we're almost at 5,000 doors. And it's
voting's already been going on.
This is myself. I mean, obviously I've got volunteers that are out there as well, and family members, friends and family. But myself, I mean, almost 5,000 doors. I mean, listen, it's simple. You got to speak to the voters. You got to hear them out. You know, we've got to. I've always ran all my campaigns, and more so on a local level now is you're running for the people. So you've got to listen to the people. What are their needs? What are their real needs? Not only their wants, but what are their needs? We've turned Miami-Dade County into a social service county, and it's great, right? And it helps a lot, and a lot of benefit from it. But we need to really see what people need. People need to be at their homes with their families more time instead of stuck in traffic more time. And listen, every politician say they're going to come in, they're going to fix the traffic issue, and I call bluff on that. But there's things that we can do. We've got to look at it as a county-wide issue. We can't be selfish and just think about one district. And we've got to fix real issues that we have. We have flooding issues that are affecting Miami-Dade County. I mean, Westchester has some flooding. It's not as bad as other parts of the county, obviously. So it's not a huge.
Because you're up on the ridge a little bit. People don't realize.
So it's not a huge topic of conversation at the doors, but it's something that we have to attack, and we have to. So a job of a commissioner is twofold, right? You've got to always pull to your district. I mean, those are your community. That's your community. That's who votes for you. That's who you're there to represent. So the Westchester, Kendall, Fontainebleau area, which is District 10. So you always got to keep that in mind. And I think for better or for worse, and regardless of anybody's opinion, I think Soto has done a great job at always keeping his district first. I know there's been some ruckus lately, that's been public with this incorporation push. But outside of that, I mean, I think Soto has done a great job at always putting his community first. So I want to kind of shadow that and build on that, always keeping District 10 first, but also look at the larger picture of Miami-Dade County as a whole. We have a real housing crisis. We have to work on that. Is it ours to resolve 100%? No. Are we going to resolve it 100% ourselves as government? No, nor I think it's our job, but we do need to do our part. And we need to facilitate for that part to take place. So there's things that we need to do on a county level that we need to put our egos aside as elected officials and just get it done. And that's kind of what I think and hope I can bring to the table.
We got 2 more minutes. The housing crisis. People get confused. There's Section 8, and there's teachers who are making 30, 40,000, can't find a place to live.
Workforce.
And that's the workforce. Teachers. Down the street here, there's a school called J.R. Lee. They're knocking it down, and they're going to build housing for teachers. That's school board property. They're going to knock it down and put school board housing for teachers.
So what for many years, Grant, what's been sexy to speak about is affordable housing Section 8, but there's a gap, even though there's some programs, but there's a gap for workforce housing. And we've got to concentrate on that because, and you hit a low number, but there's even families that are making $70,000, $80,000 that still cannot afford, purchasing a home in today's market. So we've got to kind of not shift, but we've got to include workforce housing in our conversation. And another thing that I think just recently, and I've been talking about for years at the legislature and want to continue here at the local level, and just recently has that picked up. We've always talked about whether it's rent control, whether it's the cost of the rent itself and the mortgages, but we've got to talk about the insurance premiums, which is a state issue. And we just did some changes to that at the state level. We went up for special session just a couple months ago, and we've got to talk about property taxes. So it's a round conversation. It's a conversation that's a little bit longer than just, and probably deserves its own episode, its own segment, right?
Right.
But it's something that I've been going on the radio, on Spanish radio often to discuss. We have a real crisis. It's a crisis that we are not going to resolve 100% as government, but we need to play our part.
Right. I usually do this thing about where your favorite restaurants do you eat in your district? Do you eat a lot? Your wife
I do. By nature of my work, She cooks at home, but we
Okay, we
we do
got
eat out a
60
lot.
seconds.
All right.
Favorite pizza place? Go.
Ooh,
Quick.
man, I eat pizza at Graziano's.
Okay, next. Favorite taco place?
Ooh, Rancho Grande.
Oh, I like that. Favorite fish place?
Yeah, I'll pass on that one, man. I don't
Okay.
know.
Favorite sushi place?
Ooh, Sushi Saki.
Okay, we'll let that slide. Okay, that was a hamburger. You said where's your favorite hamburger place?
Man, this is a bad one because I love cheeseburgers.
Oh,
I mean,
me
I'm
too.
a cheeseburger guy, and I don't
Really, couldn't
I
tell.
don't know. I don't know. I just
Favorite football team? Go.
home team, man.
Which
I mean,
one?
the Dolphins, man.
Right. I love this.
Actually, the real answer, you know what? I'm gonna take that back. Can I take one back?
Yeah.
My son's football team. How about that?
The Warriors.
The Warriors,
all right.
man.
Okay. Favorite your superhero as a kid?
Batman.
Okay. Your favorite cowboy or cowboy movie? Go.
Oh man, pass on that one.
Okay, you better not pass on this. Your children's birthdays. Go.
God. June 8th, November 30th, and October 20th.
Your wife's
July 7th.
mother-in-law. But bam! You don't know your mother-in-law? What's your wife's first
I'm gonna
name?
make sure she doesn't watch this. That question just earned this will not be streamed on my Facebook. How about that?
Favorite animal?
Horses.
Okay. Favorite hot dog place?
Arbetters.
And just let you know, there is a hot dog named after me.
Huh,
You got to go
the
get.
Grant dog.
Okay, words, not sentences. Thanksgiving. Go.
Mashed potatoes.
What else? Family.
Turkey.
Turkey. Okay. Favorite Christmas gift as a kid?
For favorite Christmas gift as a kid. I mean, this is good. This is why you do this, huh?
Uh-huh.
There was a year I got like a bunch of Power Rangers, and I was wanting Power
How old
Rangers
are
that
you?
year.
17 or 18?
Yeah, right. Nice one.
Okay. The magic of the mix. Why you were very successful as a state rep. Why are you going to be successful as a county commissioner?
Simple. My heart's in the right place. I don't do this. This isn't my career. My wife and I, as
Have a
mentioned
successful
earlier,
business.
we have a successful small business, but we have a successful business. I don't need this. So my heart's in the right place. I don't have one single agenda. I have a lot of issues that I want to tackle and correct and improve on and build on. But I don't have an agenda. I'm not coming in with an agenda. So I think when your heart's in the right place and you're passionate about something, I think you just do good by result.
Good. All right, we're going to close it off. Anthony Rodriguez, state rep, who's running for county commissioner. Our producer, Mike Fernandez, is right over. Mike, can you raise your hand? He is a resident of your district,
Nice.
right near Arbetters, right, Mike?
So
He's
I
got.
hope I earned his support now that he's got all these answers.
He's got about 5. How many people in your house? 5 people that vote.
Awesome.
They vote early and they vote often in his house.
Well, and I want to say before we end the segment, thank you guys for your endorsement. I know that you all take this very serious. I know that you vet all the candidates because I haven't always been endorsed by you guys. So I know that you guys take this process serious. So I appreciate and I am humbled by the support and endorsement of the newspaper itself.
We believe in good government, and we don't care what party you belong to, anybody. We want good government, and we want Dade County to be the best of the best. Everybody, make sure you vote for Anthony Rodriguez. This is Grant Miller with Anthony Rodriguez. Have a great